There's a lack of trust that youth have with democracy. There's a lack of trust that youth have with politicians. My hope is that youth across Canada will see this and will find out new ways to get involved, new ways to participate in their communities, and in general, have a greater interest in democracy and how it works.
Hello.
Yo, what's good?
How are you?
I'm good, how are you doing?
I'm good. What is this? Episode 1.
Episode 1. I'm gonna do an episode after every meeting.
Wow.
Yeah. What do you have to say to the people on the other end of this?
The council was life-changing. It was easily one of the most craziest learning experiences I've had in the past couple of years, and I'm grateful for that experience.
I want to share with you some information that we're learning, and I want to use this as a tool to inform you of how you can get involved in certain things. So I need to share with you a little bit about myself. I was born in Ghana, which is on the west coast of Africa, and my family moved from Ghana to Canada when I was 7 years old. I'm currently living in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is on the east coast of Canada. And in Halifax, we're surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. We have places like the Halifax waterfront, we have Peggy's Cove, we have the Cabot Trail. There are lots of things you can do here in Nova Scotia, and cool fact about Nova Scotia is we have the largest Black Canadian population in Canada. The Prime Minister's Youth Council was created in 2016 after Justin Trudeau won the election to be Prime Minister, and soon after he appointed himself the Minister for Youth. On the Prime Minister's Youth Council, we're supported by Peter Schiefke, who is the Parliamentary Secretary for the Prime Minister of Canada. As a youth council, we provide nonpartisan advice to the Prime Minister on important issues to young Canadians and to Canada as a whole. The government uses us to incorporate youth perspectives into policy-making decisions. I applied for PMYC last year. I think it was in August of 2018. So after I applied, I didn't hear anything back for about 5 or 6 months. And then in February, they notified us and told us that we were shortlisted. We did interviews online, video interviews, where we got asked questions and we had a time limit to answer some of the questions. And then we had another 4 months go by before we found out we were shortlisted, and then they vetted us, did background checks. Now I'm a member of the Youth Council. So the whole process took about a year. The trip to Nunavut was incredible. Being able to connect with the other people on the council, it was exciting to finally meet who else was involved with this. Being able to spend time with the other council members and together going into the community in Iqaluit and talking to some locals and learning more about their history and their culture in Iqaluit. Being able to play basketball with kids at a community center. Being able to dunk on some kids was fun too. And having a week to bond in Iqaluit, way up north.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Was really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing where we go next. We learned the most from speaking to the people in Iqaluit. Every day we had subject matter expert come in and talk to us about a specific issue. So whether it was food security, infrastructure development, indigenous languages, we learned a lot from locals in Iqaluit, and I think that was probably one of the best valuable moments of the trip, being able to connect with the locals. With PMYC, we want to go to places and, we have council meetings, but we want to be able to engage with communities where we're going. We need to learn more from them so that when we meet with the Prime Minister, we have valuable and real information to give him and real advice to give him. When we met him on Friday morning, he first spent some time with the new cohort 4, getting to know us a bit more, asking us questions about what we're passionate about, what we'd like to bring up with him. And then we went into breakout groups, so we had a chance to talk to him about specific issues, and we had different tables where he would come around and spend time with smaller groups of people. So we had a chance to ask him a question or give him advice. So each of us got to go around and raise something with the Prime Minister. With my opportunity, I used it to tell him about the Quality of Life initiative here in Nova Scotia. It could be something for the Government of Canada to look into as a new framework for measuring well-being. So in cohort 3, we have Elijah, Ashley, Haban, Xander, Sagar, Tagalik, Francois, Pierre Mood, Jack, and we have Catherine. In cohort 4, we have myself, Connor, Sela, Brooks, Nancy, Sarah, Aaron. We have Jamuna, and that's it. So the youth council works by having a cohort system. So we start with cohort 1, and cohort 1 has a 2-year term. And halfway through the first term, they introduce a second cohort, and cohort 2 arrives. And so on a cohort, there's a max of 30 people. I think I had a stroke when I... Oh, that's very good. So the council works by having a cohort system. The council can have a maximum of 30 people. So we introduce cohorts every year. Cohorts last for 2 years, and right now we have cohort 3 and cohort 4 working together. There is an election coming up in the next few months, so it's unlikely that we're going to meet until 2020. This is actually my second time applying for this youth council position. The first time I did not get an interview, I didn't get a call back. However, I was lucky my second time around to get approved on this council. The motivation for me to do this is the fact that I want to learn more about how I can influence democracy. There are lots of decisions that are made at the federal level that impact our communities. And being knowledgeable about how that is and how that comes to be is something that piques my interest. This is the first time I'm ever doing something like this, so share comments, share with me some tips and how-tos. If you have any vlogging tips, please share them with me. Thank you for watching this. I hope to keep this somewhat consistent over my period on the Youth Council, and I hope to share with you episodes after every meeting we have. Like, share, comment. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Oh, you don't want pet shots? You won't be there yet.
No, we don't have
You don't have pet shots?
Yeah.
Is it here?
Oh,
Go back to
the
members.
wrong
It's
one.
members.
That's another. No, it's...
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Okay,
What
hold
was
on.
it?
Oh!
Yeah, congratulations. Sorry.
Have you fully accepted it, or?
I think so. I'm definitely more comfortable now than I was before we went to Iqaluit.
Oh yeah.
And even in like the first couple of days, like I was shook. How are things in Toronto?
Insane. We're planning a gun violence consultation. Hopefully the PM will be there. We don't know yet. There's like 20 plus shootings since Saturday.
What?
And one young guy I actually know, I don't know how much time you have, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. But he was shot in a stairwell in an apartment like 10 minutes from my house. And just like taking groceries. Like,
Wow.
So I don't know.